will always be to me. Well, it's not even up for debate. She is the GOAT, the female GOAT of hip hop. Nobody's gonna change that. You know, I get it. I can see why people would still say Lil Kim. Listen, Nicki, what Nicki has done in hip hop, just, you know. So for me, she's the GOAT. Like, it's not even up for a debate, but and she's funny. I think Nicki has a quality. Like, if she got into comedy, I think she would kill it comedy wise. Like, if you actually, when she's in her right state of mind and actually grounded and centered, and she's loose and free, she's a very, very funny woman when she's not going at anybody. Like, she's naturally funny. And I don't understand why her team is not trying to push her into more, you know, TV projects, like guest appearances here and there to kind of get her acting chops up. She is naturally funny. She's a naturally gifted, funny woman. Why do I say that? I mean, this is too many instances, but this is my favorite clip from her. Like, listen, like her comedic chops. She has chops. She's quick witted. You understand? It doesn't take too long to think. She's just naturally funny.
When you are flying on a plane, window or aisle?
Window. Who would pick an aisle?
Well, if you have to go to the bathroom, you don't have to crawl across people to go. That's the idea.
I don't go fly in those kind of planes.
When you are flying on a plane.
Hilarious. Hilarious. I don't fly on those types. And you know what? The average, you can't even be offended by that. Like, you can't be offended. It's like, you know, how can you be mad? It's like, run it back.
In window or aisle?
Window. Who would pick an aisle?
Well, if you have to go to the bathroom, you don't have to crawl across people to go. That's the idea.
I don't go fly in those kind of planes.
I love it. Once again, her inspiration, her impact on music and fashion. Let's continue. Even though she does come from a generationally cursed bloodline of people that mess with children. Let's go.
When I did my Fendi line, I went to Italy and spoke to Sylvia and the company, and she showed me the grid of how their clothes went up once my line came out, right? And she said prior to my clothing line coming out, they were not doing really well with the clothes that had the actual Fendi prints on. That everybody wanted to get away from the Fendi print.
Okay.
And I wanted to run to the Fendi print. And Chun-Li said Fendi prints on, and that changed everything. Once Chun-Li came out, I didn't have a Fendi deal yet. Once Chun-Li came out and I said Fendi prints on, all the girls started posting and saying Fendi prints on. So Fendi, you know, gave me a deal, right?
Right here.
All of the stuff flew off the shelf.
They gave her a deal for $10 million. Fendi gave her a clothing deal for $10 million. Now, let's get to why Nicki will never, ever, I don't think, ever win a Grammy. They're going to treat her like Pete Rose. The MLB treats Pete Rose. He ain't never going to get a Grammy. Okay? Now, shout out to this young man. He put the one key piece he's missing. I wouldn't found the guy. So these people aren't hard to find. But let's go. Let's He's a little zesty, but we're not here for that. Okay. Okay, you ready? All right. Let's go as to why Nicki will never win a Grammy. Let's go.
Let's talk about why Nicki Minaj is blackballed from the Grammys and why she'll never get a
Once again, please excuse his zestiness. We're not here for that, but let's continue.
Grammy. To paint the picture, it's 2012. 2012, Nicki's in her pop era. She's doing the promo runs with LL Cool J, advertising the Grammys, telling fans she's going to be performing. Unfortunately, what also happened on that weekend of the Grammys, Whitney Houston passed away. That is important. Keep that in mind. So it's the day of the Grammys and Nicki's on the red carpet. She's promoting her performance. The song that she was going to be performing
Wait. Stop this. Lil Kim never got a clothing line deal for $10 million. Please stop this. Please stop. Just stop. Lil Kim has a baby with a crooked eye. Please stop this. Okay, let's continue.
Holiday. She was promoting it as the sacrifice of Roman. Now, here's the thing. As Nicki was set to perform that day, the producer of the Grammys at the time,
His name is Ken Ehrlich. This is the one breadcrumb that he didn't go look up. Either time constraints or he just didn't know. Ken Ehrlich is the man that I believe left instructions after he stepped down in 2019 to his predecessor or to his successor to never give Nicki a Grammy. But let's continue.
told Nicki she does not need to be performing. It was like, look, it's kind of tone deaf. Whitney Houston just passed away. I don't want you to perform. Nicki said no. And Nicki said her whole thing was, had they told me like over the weekend, it would have been nothing to like scrap it and do a different performance. But y'all telling me literally like 5 minutes before I'm about to go on.
Wait, listen, I know it sounds messed up, but Lil Kim, her entire life was obsessed with her looks, or she didn't like her looks and spent years and tens of thousands of dollars to alter her look, only to transfer all of that self-hating energy into her child, and it manifested into her child. Now her child has a goddamn crooked eye. But let's continue.
Stage as I promoted to my fans, and they've been eagerly excited to see me perform. Now you're gonna tell me not to perform? No, I'm finna go out there and perform. She went out there and performed the sacrifice of Roman, and it was met with so much backlash. I remember watching it in real time, and I was like, ooh, Nicki was toned up because of the.
Okay, don't worry, I'll fill in the missing pieces.
Since this is the weekend Whitney Houston passed away, and everybody is mourning, and here you come just going all out. But because Nicki went out there and performed, it pissed him off. Nicki didn't understand how much power he held. Once the Catholic Church and it was pissed off, they told Nicki, girl, you gotta go. From that point, Nicki was blackballed from the Grammys. It's not really in good graces with the industry. Even after he stepped down from being a producer, the tone is still like, no. Though I do see both sides in that situation. If I'm Nicki, I've been promoting this, I'm finna perform, and I'm the producer, it's tone deaf. When you look at the state of music in the Grammys now, it's like they're doing the same thing, the same imagery. Personally, I think that was Nicki Illuminati free trial audition, and she just didn't get it. Okay. All the awards that's happening to her now, it's just a side effect of still being able to have a good.
Yeah, it kind of goes left, but let's continue. Now I remember this. Now this was the moment that Ken Ehrlich said no. This is the moment. Wait, what do you mean? Why am I like this? Where's the line what I said? Where's the line what I said? There's no line what I said. Look, let's continue. This is the moment. Watch the look on her face, y'all. The look on her face.
I didn't understand the power that man had to start to completely back.
That man is Ken Ehrlich. When the white man tell you no, sit your ass down and follow instructions. Okay, let's continue.
Blackball me for the rest of my career.
And the Grammy goes to
Bonnie Bear!
She knows.
Hey, that was it. That was it for you, sis. Let's go.
She knows. And I know she knows.
And I know she knows. Okay, now let's go look up who Ken Ehrlich is. Ken Ehrlich. Let me fill in the piece of the puzzle that he didn't, TikTok, these TikTok scholars like cram everything in like under a minute. Where's he at? This is the man who basically said no to Nicki and has continued to leave instructions to his successor to never let Nicki win a Grammy. But let's go back further than this. This was from 2015. That fiasco she pulled was in 2012. So 3 years after the fact, they talked to him. Okay? Grammy producer Nicki Minaj's 2012 performance was a disappointment. You disappointed the white man. Okay. Ken Ehrlich, who's been in charge of producing the Grammys for 35 years. When that man tells you to not do something, you not do it. Okay? You are not bigger than the industry. There's no one artist bigger than the industry. Just please don't. Why do y'all do this to yourselves? Let's continue. Okay. Ehrlich talks about some of the most iconic Grammy moments in his career and two of the worst. He says, I was not proud of what I was not proud of what we did with Nicki 3 years ago. I thought that was a disappointment both in terms of what we did and to an extent what she did. I'm not going to absolve us of any responsibility, but it just wasn't good. If it had been controversial and good, I think I would have been proud of it, but we probably let out the string a little too much on that one. We did a thing, I don't know how many years ago, called Britney's Incredible Dream. When Britney was the biggest thing in the business, I thought I had to book her. Did this thing where it opened up with her in the bed as a little girl. Then she did, I don't remember what song it was, Baby One More Time. I thought that was a mistake, but there are a lot of them in the middle, and there are dozens near the top. Okay? But when someone asks me the question, those are the two that come immediately to mind. Yikes. And so we're clear, Ehrlich is talking about Minaj's Roman holiday set. Okay? All right. Now, let's get into who this man is. Once again, he stepped down in, was it 2019? Okay, he used to work on PBS, blah, blah, blah. From Cleveland, blah, blah, blah. Bachelor in journalism, moved to Chicago, blah, blah, blah. This man has produced, let's see what all he's done. The Sports Illustrated 20th Century Sports Awards in 2000. NFL Kickoff in Times Square. Okay. He worked with Dion and husband Renee Angelillo. Okay, in 2006, Ann Schultz Entertainment Group, AEG, purchased an unspecified piece of Ken Ehrlich Productions. And in 2012, that joint venture was extended to a second 5-year term. He produced annual PBS shows with Weta and the Grammy Museum. Artists from Mick Jagger, Bob Dylan, Aretha Franklin, Justin Timberlake, to Mavis Staples, Ariana Grande, Gary Clark Jr., and Cyndi Lauper. If for those who don't know who Gary Clark Jr. is, he plays the guitar. He's a brother. Okay, let's continue. In 2012, with Ehrlich as executive producer, the Grammys received a 39.9 rating, its highest rating since 1984, beating the Academy Awards for the first time since that date. Observers credited this to the show's response to the death of Whitney Houston, while producers said that an extremely strong show that ranged from performances by Nicki Minaj, Katy Perry, Paul McCartney, Bruce Springsteen, and Taylor Swift, to the Beach Boys and Glenn Campbell. Also featured a return of Chris Brown after a 3-year absence. In 2004, Ehrlich executive produced the 56th Grammy Awards, his 34th Grammy show, and then the Beatles, The Night That Changed America. Ehrlich returned as executive producer for the 57th Grammy Awards in 2015, followed by Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life, a Grammy Salute special 2 days later. Ehrlich also directed Mariah Carey's residency show, Number One to Infinity, at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace in Vegas in 2015. 2019, Ehrlich announced he would step down as executive producer of the Grammys following the 2020 awards ceremony. He got a star on Hollywood. Hollywood Walk of Fame. Helping him to unveil the star were his friends John Legend, Stevie Wonder, LL Cool J, and Smokey Robinson. All right. When this man tells you no, that means no. Now,